Hello Voltheads, you are watching the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And here we are with KOTE 7. This is round 1 of KOTE 7. We're in House Mars. This KOTE is a survival one, where each team has to pick 5 decks and play them in a different order. These are the 2 decks that you're going to see today. Mine is the one on the left. As you can see, it is a Martian Generosity double key abduction deck. Before playing this game, I had played 4 games with it. I had lost 3 and won 1. The one game I won, I forged 3 keys on 1 turn. One of the games I lost because stealth mode stopped me from playing key abduction and forging the final key. And then the other 2 games, I lost 3-1, and I didn't even get near particularly to the second key. It is very draw dependent. I mean, the Archimedes is good for building the archive, so is the Librarian, but really the way you're going to win with this is by getting to 4 or 5 and then Martian Generosity and key abduction, or the Sutterkin, drawing a lot of cards. The complete and utter lack of amber control is not good. Okay, my opponent's got a good all-round deck. He's got key cost increase with things like the Evil Eye and Ed Eye. He's got a little bit of capture with Tribute and a way to capitalise on it with the Califidian Ideal if you can't kill it. He's got a bit of artifact control with like Crazy Killing Machine. He's also got a little bit of steel with Eon the Fringes. It is a very good all-round deck. It's not particularly poor at anything. It's just a very good, solid all-round deck. So yeah, key abduction, trick deck versus all-rounder. Let's see how we get on. So here we go. That is my first hand. I'm not loving the 2-2-2. That's not ideal, to be fair. Also as well, those Igors. I've played Igor and hit Martian Generosity key abduction, and if you hit Martian Generosity key abduction, you're in a world of trouble. So 2 Igors so early when I haven't particularly got a way to stash the cards I need, I wasn't doing that. So I've binned those off for that reason. May have been a bad thing, I don't know, but the worry was there that I was going to abandon the 2 key abductions to the discard pile. So my opponent's gone into logos and they have played memory chip. I'm just getting rid of the poke and the cutthroat research. Just, you know, trying to get cards out of hand. I mean, there is double full moon in this, so I try and get something out of it, and I do think actually it's quite a good card, to be fair. It's not a card I ever particularly pull and go, I'm really disappointed with that, although 2 of them sometimes is not ideal. Because, you know, the more of them you get, the more chance of actually pulling one when you've got no creatures in hand to play down and earn anything out of. So my opponent there has played the Evil Eye Misery Exploit, got rid of some of his discards. He thought there was a problem with the timer there. I was just saying, no, it's alright, it's got the hour time limit. Again, this time I've gone into Untamed mainly just to try and cycle through the deck quick, because I need to perform the Martian Generosity key abduction or I'm going to lose. Simple. So just, you know, trying to get through it and trying to draw into the cards you need so you can trigger them. I mean, at the moment we're going alright. The artifacts, he's probably making his board a bit better than mine. That's fortunate for me in that I can pull by Night Rupture and 3 off it, and he's only going to get 1. So that was a bit lucky. There we go, playing down the Archimedes. Although again, then we've drawn another 2 logos cards, and we're back to the 2-2-2, which is a little bit unfortunate. But at least with the Titan Librarian next, I'd be able to archive a card. So he's gone into Saurian, and he's played Tertiate, which has got rid of the Pampaka. He's then put down a Perfectus Ludo and another one. And then he's played Tribute and repeated it, so he's captured 5 from me, sorry, he's captured 4 from me and put it on to Hapsis, and I am not going to be able to destroy Hapsis this turn, even if I wanted to. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to at the moment with those 2 Perfectus Ludos down, but yeah, with the cards in hand and the card on the board, not happening. So I've reaped with Archimedes, I've put down the Librarian, I've put down the Sutakin, and then I've archived the Martian Generosity. And yeah, at the moment he's 4-3, still not getting away from me at the moment, it's still sort of anybody's game. Equally, I'm not getting away from him. And there you go, look at that double full moon without a single untamed creature to play them with. I mean, look, there's 4 untamed cards there, and not one of them's a creature to go with those double full moons. So he's gone into Saurian and he's put down the Caliphagian Ideal. Now, unless I can now kill Hapsis, I am in a world of trouble, because he's just going to forge for the 6 there on Hapsis. And there you go, he's killed Sutakin. I'm just checking out my discard pile to see what I could get back with the Gravid Cycle. And then he has killed the Titan Librarian, and he's done that because basically if he didn't do that, I would have been able to kill Hapsis with what is on the board. So, if I had something in my hand that could kill a creature, wonderful. But yeah, essentially he's forging a key for 6 and 4 of it's mine. And there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. So again, we will pretty much just play the cards out hand we've got. We'll play the really, really unlucky double full moon with not a single untamed creature. We'll play the Gravid Cycle. I'll probably go for getting back the Sutakin just because it does potentially, if my opponent doesn't manage to kill it, give me a way to draw a massive amount of cards at once. So yeah, and obviously I can reap with Grove Keeper, but unfortunately it's still not going to be enough to. I couldn't fight with it and kill the Hapsis, so I just reap with it. Grasping Vines just to try and clog his hand up, because if he doesn't play the Killing Machine, straight back down again. And the Memory Chip, that's going to clog his hand also as well. Takes the next time he calls logos an archive card away. And then I've played the 2 full moons for nothing, and played the Gravid Cycle to gain an amber and then reclaim Sutakin. And I've put myself back on check. I'll have to see if he takes me off it this time. I mean, another thing, sometimes it's not a great idea to take someone off check with Martian when they've got Jenka, because if you reduce them to 5, they play Martian Generosity, draw 12 cards, and then potentially look at maybe doing a key abduction. So I think he's deciding whether or not he maybe wants to let me forge this key or not. There we go, so he's forged with all of the ones on Hapsis, which makes very good sense, because eventually I could get round to killing it. And again, you can see the deck list there. He's looking at it thinking, right, so with the exception of Cutthroat Research, there's not a single steal or capture in there, so I don't have to worry about the amber that's in my pool. As I say, I think at the moment he's just deciding whether or not he wants to risk a big draw from Martian Generosity. I mean, again, he doesn't necessarily know that I've got it, but equally he has to think that it's potentially there and that it could come out. I mean, realistically, if I did forge, I'd be looking at logos and get the Superkango down next to the Archimedes, play the Igor just to again get through some of the deck. And now we know that we've got Martian Generosity safe and sound. We don't have to worry about losing 3 key cards there. He's discarded Rare Galim. I think that was an interesting one. And then he's played the Compass, and he's reaped with the 3 Ludos. And I think he's discarded the Rare Galim to, as I say, let me forge. I think he's genuinely let me forge there. If he played Rare Galim, he'd have increased my key cost to 9. And then, yeah, that could have stopped me forging. So I think he's let me have that key, rather than risk me doing a Martian Generosity and potentially 2 key abductions. So as I've said, I've gone into logos. I played the Superkango next to Archimedes. I've played the Time Librarian. I've played Igor. I'm going to take out of there the Archimedes, just to try and make it a bit easier to archive stuff when stuff gets destroyed. So yeah, he's going to forge another key now, so 2 keys to 1. I'm still not out of it, because I could forge 2 keys in 1 turn. It could actually happen with this deck. I've done it, forged a key because of Amber, and then forged 2 keys because of Martian Generosity and double key abduction. I did that in the 3rd game I played with this deck. It's not one of mine. None of the 5 decks that we play in this tournament are actually a deck I own. They're all part of the teams, so none of them I've played before. So each time I'm going to have to try and get a little bit of practice in before we play. Yeah, I mean, the Superkango, he really wants to get rid of that, because at the moment that's going to reap and draw a lot of cards. So he's forged a key, and now he's thinking, I think he's probably just thinking, to be honest, get rid of some of the cards on my board maybe. So he's gone into logos, and he's played Memory Chip and Crazy Killer Machine. He's played a Guardian. He's played an Ed-Eye as well, which will increase my key cost by 2 at the moment, because 2 cards in his archive. He's killed the Superkango with Hapsis, which is smart. Don't blame me for that. I mean, Superkango has gone into my archive because of that. But that was a decent move for him. So I've gone into logos here mainly because, again, with the Mars stuff, I just don't feel that I'm gonna draw enough cards with the Martian Generosity. So I've played down the Librarian, I've played down Superkango, I've reaped with Archimedes, reaped with a Librarian, reaped with Igor, reaped with Archimedes, got to 5. Which again, and again, we're getting further into the game. I've drawn more cards, I've used more cards. Once more, I'm sort of threatening Martian Generosity key abduction, because Martian Generosity, again, I'm not forging now with 5. I would play it, gain an Amber, and then draw 12 cards. And then if I draw 2 key abductions, that's probably going to be enough for the win. So that's posing a bit of a problem. I mean, he hasn't got a key cheat, but there are some other steel in his deck. So, to be honest, he's used most of the stuff he's got in there now, apart from the E on the fringes. So it's going to come down to, if he's got the E on the fringes and he can steal a fair chunk off me, he's probably going to win. And if he hasn't, I'm probably going to Jenka for 2 keys in 1 turn and win. So he's gone into this. He's played both the 100 fringes, so every time he discards now a discard, he can purge it and then steal 2. So yeah, he's purged Lesser Oxtet, and he's purged Misery Exploit, so he's stolen 2 there, and then he's stolen another 2 by discarding. If he doesn't get to 6, I still might have a chance, but if he gets to 6, I've lost the game. If he doesn't get to 6, I can reap with Superkango, and I'll have so many cards that when it comes back to me, I'll be able to double key abduction. But now he's got to 6, so that's game over. Yeah, and that last one getting to 6, that's the game. If he hadn't got to 6 there, because he's not taking out Superkango, I probably would have won. I mean, you'll see how many cards I've got in my hand. So there we go, I've got 10 cards in hand, along with Martian Generosity and 2 key abductions, and now 6 amber. So yeah, but as I say, can't take him off, and that is it. That's 3 keys to 1. As it happened, both of my teammates lost their game as well. So as a team, we've lost 3-0. So see how we go on the next round. Thanks for watching, so feel free to like and subscribe. I love comments and criticism, so please feel free to leave those. I'll hope to see you next time, but until then, may the Forge be with you.